Okay, welcome to Managerial Finance in the MBA program. I'd like to jump right into talking about the course itself. So without any further ado, we'll move right into the next slide. This course is a decision-making course. We're going to look at the different types of financial decisions and strategies that managers can use to enhance shareholder value in both a domestic and international setting. So we're going to look at several topics. The first, we're going to look at an introduction to corporate decision making. What is it all about? In the end, what corporate decision making is as much psychology as it is business. So in this particular piece, we'll talk about how managers make decisions and why they decide the things they do. We'll also incorporate this an introduction to some financial statement analysis, and we'll actually analyze a real company. We're going to look at risk and return. We're going to analyze the valuation of stocks and bonds, and then look at corporate projects and their evaluation. And in the end, we'll ask some very basic questions about where do companies go to get money. So the MBA program has 5 basic program objectives. We expect graduate students to be able to communicate correctly and purposefully. We expect them to be able to identify problems and analyze information, hopefully to form some conclusions within the business context. We want them to have a wide variety of knowledge through a variety of sub-disciplines. We also would like them to be able to utilize some analytical and quantitative skills in decision making. And finally, in the end, we want graduate programs or business programs to demonstrate knowledge of the complexities of decision making in the global environment. Within this particular course, as you'll notice, the P0 in parentheses here reflects up and connects back to the program objectives. So we are going to be able to explain the basics of decision making and financial management function. We'll be able to solve and analyze the risk-return relationships and apply that to financial decision making. We should be able to calculate valuation techniques for both securities and projects. We'll be able to differentiate and explain the models used to describe how managers gather funds, that is the capital structure decision, and also how they pay dividends through the dividend policy. And finally, we're going to analyze the financial statements and data of a real company. The overall course objectives are fairly straightforward. You will develop a decision model for financial applications. You'll be able to use a variety of techniques to analyze corporate information. You will have an understanding of the challenges corporations face in funding of operations and growth. And finally, be able to develop and explain the process of analyzing financial statements for the company. This course is managed via the Canvas Learning Management System. In addition to this, though, we're using some third-party software programs, one of which is referred to as My Finance Lab. There are videos in the module of Canvas that will help you register for My Finance Lab. We also will be participating in a team building program that's called Teammates. Again, there are videos that help you with registration and videos that discuss the ongoing program and utilization of these software packages. Students are going to watch a variety of videos to prepare for coursework. There are Excel worksheets that are provided to help students with the more analytical and quantitative aspects of the course. Those Excel spreadsheets should be downloaded as needed for the content of the course. And each chapter has videos describing how to use those worksheets to solve the problems of that particular chapter, those particular context problems in finance. There are two primary textbooks. Now, how you should be receiving this textbook is you should get the corporate finance textbook, and the My Finance Lab should be shrink wrapped together in a package. So you will get, when you open that package, it's a 3-ring binder. It's what's referred to as the value package. That value package, if you open that package, in there you will find the My Finance Lab component to this course. You will also get an email. That email will give you some directions on going to My TMC and My Courses in order to find the digital materials for the course, for the software package called Teammates. As far as class activities, you should expect to spend 20 to 25 hours a week completing the assignments in this course. There are going to be quizzes, individual assignments. There'll be group assignments. The quizzes and exams. Each chapter will have a multiple choice quiz. They are timed. So you obviously need to be cognizant of time so you don't run out of time before the quiz expires. 99% of all of the activities in this class are due midnight before the next week starts. There also will be 2 midterms. You're actually going to be provided the questions for these ahead of time. We'll talk about this when we get to the module and we actually look at Canvas here in a second. But there'll be a midterm and a final that will be required to be uploaded throughout the course as we progress through the materials. Individual assignments, most chapters are going to have a set of homework assignments that are directly related through the Canvas LMS system. So you'll go out, you'll do these homework assignments online. They are graded online. So that information is pretty standard. There are videos that talk about the problems that are in each section and or each chapter. So you could watch the videos of how to solve the problems before you go and try to solve the problems. In addition, there are discussion articles. Each session is going to have an article to read or a video to watch. And as prescribed in the Canvas LMS system, you will follow this forum format that I'm sure you're familiar with, and you're going to reply to the question posed by the article and or video. In addition, you're going to provide a response to at least one other student's information, to their reply. As far as the group projects, there is an ongoing research assignment involving a real company. There are 2 parts to this. There is a data gathering process, and there is also a paper writing process. For the data gathering process, those assignments are uploaded just like any other assignment. However, there will only be 1 upload per group. For the paper writing component of the group project, there will be 1 group member will submit this to turn it in, and that is how the paper will ultimately be assessed and evaluated by the instructor. There's really no specified length to any assignment. We're graduate students, so I would expect that you're going to have a graduate level analysis and summarization of the articles and group work. Within the module, there is some paper requirements that you can follow the specifics of those. All written assignments are submitted via Turnitin. So again, group assignments, one more time, group assignments are uploaded by 1 person. When they're submitted back to the students, they'll be uploaded by the instructor, so all students will have access to the graded assignments. individual written assignments, if there are any written papers, those individual written papers will also be uploaded via Turnitin. It's assumed that you understand how to use Turnitin and you've used it somewhere in the Thomas More TAP program. In this class, again, only one student per group will submit to Turnitin. Turnitin is set up to review grammar and spelling. I suggest that you take advantage of this tool before providing the paper. You can submit a rough draft. You can then take the paper, review it, look at the information that Turnitin is providing with respect to grammar issues, spelling issues, and ultimately we want to look at the similarity issues. But you can review this draft prior to the paper being due. So the final paper is due on a certain date, but any time up to that time you can submit a paper for review. The similarity between your document and the population of papers in the universe, right, should not exceed 25%. A paper submitted with similarity greater than 25% will be reviewed for plagiarism issues and just issues in general of poor citation management, if you will. A paper submitted with similarity greater than 45% will receive a letter grade penalty, and greater than 50% will receive a 0 for that paper. With respect to attendance, attendance is taken as evidence by completing class work. The discussion requirement each week is due midweek, and that is the day attendance is first taken. If that assignment is late or not completed, partial credit for participation in attendance can still be earned by completing the week's activities. There are a total of 120 points possible for attendance. There is also 100 points available for group evaluation. If you look at the grading schedule, 40% are for quizzes and exams. 10% is the discussion assignment grade. Individual homework is 20%. Group projects, 20%. Participation and peer evaluation is 10%. So the next thing we want to look at is we want to look at and review the module itself. So what I'm going to need to do here is I'm going to switch to, it's going to take me a second to get this all set, but I want to switch to the module that we have for this course. And let me fit it inside our box here. So what you will be able to see when I get this fixed is what are the pieces and components to the modules. Again, when you open the module, you get to the home page. Again, one of the things I ask you to do is go down, make sure you have the equipment, right, the textbooks for this course. But then you're going to spend most of your time working with modules. So the first module available is something called Course Essentials. This is where you're going to find this video again if you want to review the video. There are discussions. The very first discussion is just a question as to whether or not you have the right materials. You'll answer this yes or no before the class starts. If you don't have the material before the class starts, we're going to have an issue. The course is only 6 weeks long. You need to be able to get up and running from the very first day with respect to the third-party softwares. There is a video here that talks about how you register for My Finance Lab. There is the actual syllabus for this course, which is the online course. There's some other information, the student conduct, student resources, student support services. If you need any of those any information about that, that is available for you. The MBA Finance 630 exam document. This is a document that contains all of the questions that could possibly show up in the midterm and the final. The questions are there. How you solve those questions, how you come up with graduate level answers is up to you. So I'll let you work on the development of that as the course goes on. As far as a pre-assignment, the pre-assignment is actually pretty simple. It's just let's get ready to move forward. The only thing I ask that you do is you need to register for the software. You need to register for my finance lab. You need to register for the teammates piece. You're also going to be looking at some data, right? You're going to start looking at the information in the course, right? So again, you're going to look at some chapters. You're going to watch some videos. As a group, you're going to discuss the process, discuss the class and what you're going to do with respect to the class. So it's just a time to reflect on what do we need to do to get ready to complete this course. There is a discussion question where I ask you to input a short paragraph, a biographical paragraph, so that I know and I can quickly take a look at and find out a little bit more about you and what you're doing within your career, etc. There is a section on teammates. There is an introductory PowerPoint. You'll find a video here that is the discussion of this PowerPoint. There is an example of the results that you get once we do some of these exercises. And finally, there's something called a teamwork toolkit. If you have a corporate charter, right, you should review that before you start this toolkit, right? But there are other steps here involved that can give you some insight into how teams work and how we can get them to work most effectively. There are some sections, lots of videos for you to review and watch. There is some time value types of videos. The first three things here are Excel spreadsheets, if you see the file extension. And then there are videos that give you some instructions on how to solve time value problems. If you feel you need a review, that's a place where you can get that information. Next, week 1. All of those sessions are set up the exact same way. There's some instructions for you to follow. There's a checklist that describes in a little bit more detail, right, or just in a tabular form, what needs to be accomplished for the week. There is a video, there is a PowerPoint for the chapter, and then there is a video for the chapter. For chapter 2, I actually broke it into several parts because there are several pieces to the group project that will follow. There is typically something that has to do with the discussion question. In this case, there is an article on executive compensation. You'll click on this link. You'll go up, you can read this document, and there is a link. And since you're in the Canvas website, you won't have to log in again. But if you click on this link, it will send you out and will maybe ask you for your password, etc. But you will get the worksheet, the PDF document right here, that then you can download, read, and then answer the discussion questions. That is a discussion of the materials, the reading and videos for the first week. Then we talk about group projects. What are they? There's some data gathering projects that you'll upload. There is a finance spreadsheet. This spreadsheet contains the financial statements for the company that we're going to be analyzing. You'll know what that company is. It's right here. In this class, we're going to be looking at General Dynamics. There is a team assignment, right? So you're going to follow this document, will tell you how to solve this assignment, how to complete it. This assignment, as you read here, though, is not due until the end of week 2. As an individual, you'll do some forum questioning. There's also Week 1 problem PowerPoint. Again, this is a PowerPoint of the video that will help you understand the problems from the first week. So this is the PowerPoint, and this is a video of that PowerPoint. Prior to solving the homework problems, I would watch the video, open this PowerPoint, watch the video. If you have any questions, you can practice the problems that are there. You can solve the problems, and then you can attempt to do the homework and the chapters. Each week, each session will have some problem videos. These are videos that can help you answer questions either in the homework, or they can answer some questions about more detailed information about some of the content of the course. But every single session will be set up exactly the same way. So as we were discussing, that is how we're going to, or the review of the Canvas site. How do you contact the instructor? 344-3621 is the business department's administrative assistant. You can always get a hold of the instructor via the Thomas More email system. If you're on a quiz or a homework problem in my finance lab, there is a link referred to as Ask the Instructor. This will send me an email. Please, I have several classes going on at the same time. In any email that you send me, please tell me which class you're in. It will save me a lot of time in trying to understand what your problem is, where we're at in the class, etc. Canvas has a mechanism for messaging, not only with the instructor, but also with people in your groups. And throughout the course, probably a couple of times, I will set up some virtual meetings so that if you have questions about group projects, etc., we can spend that time to kind of brainstorm a little bit, see what's going on in the class and in the program. So the immediate tasks of this class is you need to register for my finance lab. Again, if you don't have the access code that should be in your shrink-wrapped textbook, then you need to contact the launch team at eCampus. Make sure you CC me on the email so I know that you're looking for this data. You'll need obviously subscribe to my finance lab, and I don't have it here, but you also need to subscribe to the teammates worksheet. You're going to review the pre-assignment, take a look at that, read any assignments or videos that might be identified in that pre-assignment, and get started to move forward. The Teammates software is a new tool provided by us through a company called Capsim. The purpose of this software is to help assess performance in the group projects. It's going to provide an assessment of you individually and also as a group or team. So the most important aspect of this software package is it's going to provide some remedial information so that you can improve your work within team situations and your personal activity as well. So again, the overall objective is to provide you with tools to help improve your work-related teamwork. It's simple and quick to complete. It does require truthful and thoughtful completion. A tool is only as good as the information it's used. There is a video, showed you a place where there would be a video that will talk about teammates and teams in general in more detail. And there will be a few exercises throughout the course that will help us with our assessment of working in teams. So that is the function of Thomas More's MBA Finance course. This is what we're going to do for the next several weeks. Talk to you soon.